pick your own front two that you'd want in your team. One player has to be currently playing and one has to be a retired player. Who would you pick?
I think I'll go first, and I'll kind of pick a very obvious one. But for me, mine will be Thierry Henry and Robert Lewandowski. Prime reason because Lewandowski is a gunman at the moment, is just scoring goals left, right, and centre. And he's been doing it, how many years for Bayern Munich at the moment, and Borussia Dortmund. And Thierry Henry, for me, is probably one of the best strikers English football and world football has ever seen. And the fact that he kind of changed the way football was seen in England. You know how when we were growing up, we'd see just two strikers up front all the time, but Thierry Henry would always be able to drop deep or go to the left, and he'd actually change the way strikers were looked at, because at the time strikers weren't really known for their pace. You always put them on the wings all the time, like the pacey players that you had at the time. And kind of him coming through with Arsenal and taking on the defence and the big tall centre-backs that there were at the time, I think that would be a deadly duo personally, Thierry Henry and Robert Lewandowski.
I'm going to have to go with Ronaldo and Ronaldo. So obviously the Brazilian Ronaldo, I think the best and the most talented of his generation in terms of forwards, in my opinion. The things that he could do with the ball, with his size and his build, were just incredible. He had no business doing what he could do with a football. And obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, who's the best of this generation, the greatest of all time.
Ronaldo squared, basically.
Yeah.
Easy said and done.
So my two would probably be, I had a few options, but in the end I settled for Rooney and Ronaldo. I really enjoyed watching them together.
That's a pretty good one, to be fair.
Yeah, I think that they'd just be deadly in any era. Yeah,
Rooney and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen them together anyway, which is brilliant as well. But you beat the loophole there. One's retired and one's still playing as well. Like Rooney retired.
Literally just retired.
2 months ago or something. So nicely done there, Salin.
So I'll go with Brazilian Ronaldo and Portuguese Ronaldo. Similar to what Arish said.
Exactly the same.
Exactly.
Literally. Brazilian Ronaldo, he used to score goals for fun, man. Like some of the goals that he scored, like you just see the highlights, and it just looks amazing. How easy he used to make the game,
and he never used to take care of himself. Like it did not look like he used to take care of himself, and what he used to do with a football is just madness. Easily, probably in my opinion, the most talented of the generation.
And you have to remember as well, he was one of the only few players who scored a hat-trick at Old Trafford in the Champions League, and he walked off with a standing ovation from our fans as well.
Yeah, one's going to be Thierry Henry, the other one's going to be Luis Suarez.
That's a shout, actually.
One of the best strikers of all time.
Two tenacious strikers, two amazing finishers, both set-piece specialists as well. Sorry, I just took the words out of your mouth, but yeah.
I think two that work hard off the ball as well as on the ball.
They're two kind of leaders as well, if you could say. Even if they don't have the armband, they're two leaders on the pitch as well, which is brilliant.
One does like to bite here and there, but
protect your shoulders.
Yeah, protect your shoulders. You need them. American football style shoulder things. He made Daniel Sturridge look like a world class striker. He was good, but he wasn't like what people ought to be. But he made Sturridge look like he was like top tier player. But that was because of Suarez.
I'm gonna go with Cristiano Ronaldo, which probably expected, greatest of all time, and I'm gonna go with George Best as well. I think two Ballon d'Or winners, two of the players that wore the iconic number 7 shirt, the biggest club in the world, and I think a duo where two generations come together. Because for me, obviously George Best, I didn't see any of him obviously in live or anything like that. But I think with me, it's like the elder generation of my family, like my uncles and all of them. They always said, you think Ronaldo's good and you think this guy's good, but you never watch George Best play. And they said that you look at the surfaces he played on, and obviously the way defenders were built and the way they used to attack their people and attack the strikers. He goes, if you look at the way the guy used to move on the ball, they say to me regularly, because if Cristiano Ronaldo and other players like that were in that era, they wouldn't last. And obviously, I wouldn't be able to tell, but I think that's a duo I'd love to see, because both of them have done it at the top of their game. Both of them have obviously represented countries as well, who probably not been favourites in any big tournaments, especially George Best played for someone like Northern Ireland, but I think for their club, they gave everything. They won the lot, both Ballon d'Or winners as well. And I think just seeing them two play, I think tall men, they just got something about them. It's like an aura about them. Everything's about them. And I think seeing them two play together, they can head the ball, they can with the ball, dribble, they can do the lot. And that's what I'd love to see them to play. But obviously we won't end up getting that.